We are getting ready to go out, check out yet another purchase. This one's just a parts car. It's not going to be around for too long, but I'm going to go check out and see what we got. Almost feels like a little bit of an episode of Storage Wars, if you're familiar with that show, but I'm going to take you along. Okay guys, so started shopping for parts for the D1 Overland build. Had a good sense of what I needed. And then the shop that I'm working with on the Range Rover Classic stuff here in town sent me a post and said, hey, here's a Disco 1 that's been modified. It's got all kinds of bits and parts and things that sound like items you need. Check it out. So they sent me the link. Turns out it has a ton of stuff I need. I'm talking Old Man Emu lift, potentially wheels and tires. It's got skid plate. It's got lights and mirrors and just all kinds of things. In addition to the fact that it has what I think look like from the photos, it's hard to tell, 2 front seats that are in really, really good shape in Bahama beige and a matched rear seat. So I actually did replace these rear seats. If you looked at the first episode on this build series, I talked about the fact that I sourced some and they were on the way. I put them in, they look great. They're in really nice condition. They are Bahama beige. They do have a little bit of a different trim. I don't know if you can see that, but they've got almost like an ivory trim on the top there. And then the front seats that came with this car aren't trimmed out at all. So I'm gonna look at the piping on the front set, see if they match. If they don't, maybe the rear set, which is also in this parts car, does match and is in just as good a condition, and it's an easy swap. So again, to recap, seats, lift, grill, lights, skid plates, stuff that would have cost me a good bit of money, all of which are part of the budget, which because of this, I'm gonna probably get at about half price. So very serendipitous. It was awesome that this came along. Even more awesome that the guys over at the Rover Co. turned me on to it. So we're gonna go check it out. I'm gonna pick up some parts and then we're gonna spend some of the days this week slowly parting out the rest and bringing it over to the home garage where we're gonna do most of the build for this D1 DIY as part of the series. So stay tuned and let's head out. Okay, so here's our parts car. Obviously pretty good parts car. This was a car that somebody started to build on about 3 hours from where I'm located. Obviously got a certain way and then stopped. It does not have an engine or transmission or any of the mechanicals, so that was the obvious reason that they decided to get rid of it. That said, obviously in this car we already have all that, so that's not really what we're here for. What we are here for though mainly is the suspension. So it's got an Old Man Emu lift kit on it, which is something I plan on purchasing anyway, and quite frankly that's one of the nicer lift kits out there, so that's going to be great. We are going to take the skid plate, move that over to the build. We're also going to take the front grille. This one's in really nice shape, so we'll refinish this one. It's got a great looking badge. Save ourselves from having to source and track and find another one. And then a lot of the rest of what we're going to take is really interior. So this car happens to have pretty much the whole interior. Frankly, it almost looks like there's more than one car's worth of interior in here, but we will see as we start to unpack all this stuff. But we're gonna take front seats and maybe rear seats and those kinds of things to complete what we're trying to do on the interior of the other car. So getting ready to start parting this out. We'll spend the next few days over here doing that and starting to get the bits we need for this car over here. Lots and lots to certainly go through. We are going to leave a good bit of this stuff. Obviously, I've got the majority of this stuff in really nice shape on the D1 I've got. The Rover Co. is going to take this and potentially do an electric conversion, which would be super cool. So we've grabbed pretty much what we're going to grab by hand. It's going to load up the skid plate, and we'll come back, grab the suspension, couple of other odds and ends like the skid plate brackets. But overall, probably about halfway done, maybe even more. And certainly was a good buy in the sense that got a whole lot of parts. So, you know, suspension alone is more than what I invested in the parts car. So new front seats, which are super hard to find. These happen to be in great shape, no rips, no tears, no issues. You know, those kinds of things, all a bonus basically on top of the suspension, which is the main reason we bought the parts car. So gonna load this up, head back to the house. We'll come back for the next few days, get the suspension off and swap those two. And then we'll be done with this parts car and we'll be over to Rover Co from there.